So there's this new report that basically is talking about the race relations between black and white Americans. And what you have is that they're saying that it has reached now a 20-year low. So this is a Gallup poll that was done, and it basically goes on and says that the majority of Americans, 57%, say that relations are somewhat or very bad. And meanwhile, about 20 or 42% of Americans say relations between blacks and whites are either very or somewhat good. So basically, more people than not actually believe that the relations are bad between black and white Americans. The poll was also conducted between June 1st and July 5th, which was during the time where Derek Chauvin's trial was going on and everything. And you have this situation too where they are comparing this poll to the same one that they did in 2019, where 51% of Americans said that the relations were actually very or somewhat good. However, after the murder of George Floyd in May 2020, that rating dropped the following year as racial justice protests were going crazy at that time last year, as we all remember. Now, this is exactly what Democrats want. What this tells me is that what they're doing is basically working, that they're seeking to divide and conquer. That's what this has always been about. It has never been about uniting people. It's been about conforming to what they believe. And this is the fruits of their labor, if you want to call it that, where they have effectively pitted people against someone else, all because of the color of one's skin. Something that's absolutely ridiculous, something that you would think we would have gotten beyond, but it's all because the Democrats are just bent on trying to make sure that everybody knows their place, whether that's the oppressed or the oppressor. And don't you dare move outside of those reins, because then the Democrats will have a problem with you by you doing that. And the issue is that this shows that their tactics have worked, as sad as that is. We end up divided into all these useless categories while they wind up basically being able to get all these groups of people to vote for them because they're promising them some better tomorrow. Remember, if whatever a group is campaigning on is what they're going to do when they get elected, okay, they have no incentive once they get elected to fix those problems, right? So if there's a Democrat that's running for Senate, for House of Representatives or anything like that, and they're saying, you know what, I recognize all of these racial issues and blah, 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 and I'm going to try and come out there and do something that's going to make a change. Well, they campaigned, they ran, they profited and won, for example, in this theoretical situation, based off of their political divisiveness by basically telling you that, you know, black people are this way and oppressed that way, and white people are automatically the oppressors no matter what they do. By running on this, they have no incentive once they get elected to change that. I mean, once the problem's fixed, why would they need to be there? So it's in Democrats' best interest to keep everyone divided, whether they're in office or not. It's in their best interest because that's how they're campaigning. That's what they're running for. That's why they feel like they're there. That's why people are voting for them. If the goal of conservatives for Republicans is to make sure that we are being taught facts in our schools, actual legitimate history instead of the fake history that they're trying to push down on kids, then that's what they're going to be trying to keep instituted as well. They're not going to try and get rid and up in those systems all of a sudden the second they get elected. So you kind of pick which one you want to go with. I know which one I'm going with, but that's kind of beside the point. But like I said, they don't want unity. They never have. They want conformity. That's all this is about. You just watched a clip from The William Hall Show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.